Hey, welcome to the Midweek Conversation. I'm Dennis.
And I'm Angelica.
And here's to a great weekend. And to you.
Oh, that was like a good, ting. That was cute.
It was. So we had a busy weekend. Mm-hmm. You had a busy weekend too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. We had the celebration Sunday, and Mom said that we had been there before, but it was when I was really young, and I don't remember it.
At Spirit Lake, a.k.a. Devil's Lake.
Spirit Lake.
White Oak
Pavilion
shelter.
Mm-hmm.
At the South Beach.
It was so cute. Yeah.
Isn't it?
I was like, whoa, no wonder they picked this spot, because it was like you're right next to the water. You can look out. It was so pretty. I was like, wow. And people really showed up and brought food. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a whole thing.
Hillsters show up.
I know, seriously. I was not expecting it, but I was like, okay. Yeah. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. So we don't always have that shelter. Sometimes we've been displaced, but it's always nice to have that shelter. Mm-hmm. Last year we had one that we were like, oh, it has a kitchen and a serving table. So we set up the serving table, and then we were getting things ready to put food on it, and then we're like, and we realized that it was set up right under the vents for the bathroom.
Oh!
And I heard a fan or something circulate. Oh. It was like, okay, this isn't good.
Oh!
So we ended up moving the food on the other side of the.
Do you want a side of bathroom dust with your meal?
Come to River Hill Celebration Sunday, where our food
is lightly dusted.
No, it's smoked.
Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's so gross. Ew.
No, but it really was fun.
Wow, I'm
hey, you didn't participate in the annual inflatable relay? No, it wasn't a relay race. It was a race.
No.
Next year.
No.
Next year.
I
did.
No. Oh, really?
You didn't see me?
No.
I was in the unicorn inner tube. It was
really
pink and white, and I hung on to the horn, and we were supposed to swim.
That is amazing. I'm sorry I missed it.
We have people in the room, and they're sitting in the back cracking up, and it's kind of hard to keep a straight face right now.
I feel like, is there a video or?
There is, and I think maybe people are seeing it right now as
we're
talking.
They should put it in right now. That would be funny.
I mean, there were like 5 of us, and so I was going against four kids who were like 8 and 9 years old, and they're like way out in there in front of me.
Yeah.
And so we were shallow, so I just stood up and started running. And I threw myself and flopped down in the water, trying to stay ahead of them, and they passed me again.
Oh my gosh!
I came in last place.
Needless to say.
And then I asked them, "How much do you weigh?" And they're like, 60 pounds. And I said, "Oh, no wonder."
They were like little
180.
torpedoes. That's cute. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Huh? That's cute.
Yeah.
Aw.
This is the first year we didn't have any baptisms.
Yeah, but
yeah, there were I think there were 5 young people who are talking with their parents about being baptized.
Which is
and we want to leave a lot of space there because
totally.
Yeah, you don't want somebody just making a
do it because it's the day that we usually just
spontaneous decision based on what their friends are doing.
Right.
It's not that.
Right.
It's about faith development. It's not about peer pressure and whatnot. So we really want to work through that carefully.
I think it's a really cool baptism culture that we have here too, in that where it's not like, all right, it's getting to that time of year where everybody gets baptized and people are, you feel pressure to do it. I think that I thought it was really cool for me to just experience, just to see what this looks like in this place.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get baptized here, I got baptized somewhere else. And it was just a different culture around it. But I think that this is really cool, and it's the celebration Sunday, the baptism Sunday, at least initiated some thoughts for people along the lines of okay, I do want to make the statement, but you need time to think about it.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. In a way, you still got that ball rolling through it. So
well, I did have some conversations with people who were still wondering. So I got baptized as a child, they would say. I had numerous conversations like this, and I'm not sure how to process that.
Yeah.
And so I think I think I need to spend more time as a pastor and as a teacher talking about that and developing those thoughts. And the way that I look at it is that baptism is like a birthday party. It's a spiritual birthday party. And some people are baptized early, and that's what infant baptism is. And in churches that have what I would deem a good theology, is that baptism is a sign of faith of the parents that God is going to draw this child unto himself, and therefore in faith we are going to have a birthday party for a spiritual birthday party, and that's what infant baptism is. And again, in a church that has a thoughtful theology, they then have a confirmation class. So in the Roman Catholic Church and the Roman in the Lutheran Church, if they're teaching it correctly according to their theology, confirmation is confirming the baptism, and is then the imparting of the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Because presumably a baby doesn't have the Holy Spirit gifting them with particular gifts. Yeah. So, I get that, and I want to honor that, because we live in a culture that is predominantly Lutheran and Roman Catholic, and I don't want to go around dissing that.
Absolutely not.
Because if they understand it correctly. Now, when I've been involved with some infant baptisms, I have visibly heard people in the room heave a sigh of relief when the child is baptized, when the infant is baptized, and I will comment if I have the opportunity to speak at these things. I will comment saying, now, I heard some of you heave a sigh of relief. This is not the means of salvation. This is a sign of God's grace. And those are two very different things. So I try to teach through baptism and let people kind of understand those things. Now, that might sound like word salad is something that everyone's throwing around these days, but that might sound like that to some people, but it is very nuanced.
I think that's cool.
In its theology.
I like that, to have those conversations around, like, even on Sunday, like using the I stand at the door and knock and passage, and you were like, there's an element to it where it can symbolize like someone who hasn't turned to Christ yet, feeling like there's a knock at the door. He's knocking at the door of my heart, and am I going to open it? And then you like open your life to the faith,
which is kind of the evangelical standard understanding of Revelation 3:20.
Totally, because that's how I had heard it all through my childhood and everything. But then you're like, that's also like, that's a thing. And then we also have this interpretation of like, in the context of this passage, it being for the church already.
Right.
It's this.
He's speaking to a church of people who are already believers, already Christ followers, but they're not following too well.
Exactly. Right. And so it's like, okay, so even within like us who are, who have made the decision, you want to follow Christ, we still have to like have conversations around things like, what does it mean to, what's the word in Greek? Metanoia.
Oh, you're talking about
to metanoia.
The R word?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was like, I don't want to say the word.
Yeah.
What does it mean to metanoia? And then here it's like, what does it mean to get baptized?
Right.
And we should actually talk about it, because there's conversations that happen everywhere in the culture about things that deal with like our church, our capital C church, our family, that doesn't even get talked about in the family. Like, we need to like sit down and like, did you ever have like family meetings? All right, we're calling everybody together. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we have to have those conversations about metanoia, about baptism, about these other things. It's like we continue to do that because it's a lifelong process. None of us are, all right, I'm established now. I know everything. I've got it.
Right.
I'm a great Christian now. Yeah, yeah. Like, oh yeah, I went and got my degree. Okay, yeah, I'm set. It's like it never ends.
Right.
You're still learning. It's
And then every
yeah.
time, every time we talk about, every time we meet, there might be 5 new people in the room.
Right.
Right. And they've
Right.
never heard any of this. And so we have to keep repeating it. And
Yeah.
then every time we repeat it, it becomes layered for people who have heard it before.
Totally.
And there's new insight or.
Yeah, because like every time, and it's even interesting, because we go out, we continue our lives, we continue being the church outside, but our lives then influence when we come back on Sunday and we say again, this is the unveiling. Oh, you know what? That makes me think of this thing that happened this week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or you come in, this is written to us, but not for us. Oh, you know what? That like struck me in a new way. Like, and it continues to happen because life continues to go on, like, yeah. Anyway, I think that that's really cool. And yeah, we have this conversation for that to continue to spark conversation. Like this dialogue like this should happen all the time. And again, and I say it all the time, I think River Hills does a good job with having conversations and with people talking. Like at the Gathering Place Cafe, it's just a stream of conversation the whole time. And now we're even open earlier. So it's just like all throughout the entire, and I think it's like we do need to continue to have conversations and to talk to each other and to hear different ideas and even hear ideas that like go talk to people you maybe don't agree with or you think that you won't, and then, continue to be open and yeah. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I recently was listening to something about cults and people who are involved in cults, and they tend to be self-isolating. And not only that, but they also tend to be other isolating. That is that we outside of the cult tend to want to not engage in conversation with them. And this happens politically too. And they were comparing these two things. And they said the worst thing that you can do is honor that boundary. Oh. And the best thing that you can do to break down the barriers is to engage. And the person said, and they're a cult expert. They said the best thing that you can do is to make contact with the person and apologize for letting distance grow between you, and then engage in conversation. Like, hey, I'm just wondering how you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what you're thinking these days. And if the conversation turns toward the issue that is around that cult or around an extreme political view or some extreme view, you ask them questions about that without judging them, but just asking questions.
Yeah.
And what that does is it keeps them from self-isolating, and it keeps that wall from growing up between you. Because the worst thing that happens is self-isolation. And that, to me, it seems like isolation needs to have the Surgeon General's warning on it. Warning, isolation may cause death, because we're understanding that isolation is behind Alzheimer's in a large degree. Isolation is around a lot of illnesses. A person may have a physical malady, they isolate and it becomes worse. But social contact tends to help some of these things, as well as emotional issues.
Yeah.
Right? People are going into a depressive episode and they start to isolate, which only exacerbates that depression. And so we need to always be thinking about how we can create those conversations.
Totally.
And that's what a church should be doing constantly.
Yeah.
Right? How can we create environments where conversations happen?
Totally.
That's why we've changed the name of our small group Bible studies to connection groups, so that we're constantly thinking of creating those connections, creating those conversations.
Yeah.
Addictions become worse when people isolate. That's something that we've been learning in our Thrive group that we have. We have a new connection group, and if you have someone who is suffering with an addictive disorder, we would love to share some resources with you. We have a Thrive connection group that meets at the River Hills building at 6 p.m. on Monday evenings, and you can reach out to us, and I believe we have an email set up at thrive@riverhillschurch.org.
Her name might be
thrive@riverhillschurch.org. We're gonna have to check that.
There's
as soon
also
as we're done here.
posters, like we have posters here and stuff too.
Yeah.
If you want to take like a paper form home,
Yeah.
put it on your fridge. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
what we were talking about was, how we see those
Totally.
those conversations happening
The
everywhere.
bridges being built because you want to say like the churches all over, you have billboards outside, come on in, come as you are, and it's just like, all right, and then once they're inside, so they came as they are, and now
They're all by themselves.
they're all by themselves.
I know exactly what
and
you're
it's
talking
just like,
about.
okay, that didn't really. So yeah, I totally agree.
Have you ever went into a church you've never been to before, and then no one talks to you?
Actually, yeah, I have. And
That
it's
always
really
blows my
weird.
mind.
It's really like a really weird experience. You're like, oh,
Now, I can get it if someone's just trying to explore. They might, say, hey, I don't want anyone to talk to me.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should have a little button at the door that says, don't talk to me.
yeah, really, I'm just
And
looking.
then that's a good idea. Just looking, no talking.
yeah, like I don't. Yeah.
We can have one of those monkey things,
Yes.
I have that emoji, it's like this,
Yes.
this, and like this.
It'd be cute.
we could.
Because sometimes, it's like, don't be like a department store. Hey, can I help you with anything? Like right at the door.
Right.
And there's like, okay, like
Right.
you really,
Right.
I'm good. I can find the chair myself.
But
Even-
they might not know that there's coffee though,
I mean, true. And there's all
and some awesome
snacks
like
and
butterscotch peanut butter
Yeah.
something that
Dude,
was fantastic
we
on
have, like,
Sunday.
some amazing bakers in here.
Christine like knocks it out when she
Seriously.
does that. And then there are hickory nut sugar cookies.
Yes. And if you're healthy, there's also like, veggie options
If
and
you're
fruit.
healthy.
There is good stuff for everyone.
And some people ask, so why do you do that? And again, it's back to conversation
Mm-hmm.
and connection.
Oh yeah. People will stand over there by like the snacks and coffee and just like talk about everything, life,
Yeah.
whatever.
How many times have I said every post-resurrection appearance of Jesus involves food?
Oh my goodness.
Check it out.
What?
Every post-resurrection appearance of Jesus involves eating food.
That's so fun. Oh my gosh. Me and my mom were talking last night on our campsite under the stars. We were talking about and when I was in residence life,
Wait, what does that mean?
residence life at university, so you have the dorm rooms, and so you have to have basically the parents of each hall that you live in. And so I was on residence life, so that's the parents of each hall on campus, and I had my red hall, my group of 25 girls that I took care of. Well, 30 really, but it was that was really fun. And they were freshmen, sophomores. There was a few seniors. Anyway, so the mantra of residence life of the hall parents was come to the table. That was our theme for the year. And so we would go together every week. You meet and you think about this idea, and you're like, how are we creating this come to the table environment? What does your table look like? How many chairs do you extend it? What happens at this table? Are you eating at this table? And then
Such a great metaphor.
I know. And so it's funny that you said that involves eating. And we were just talking about that last night, and it's just tables are so important to me. I was thinking about, we got this cool oak table, and now we have it in storage until we can put it in the new house. And I'm just there's been so many times where Mom's like, do we need this still? And I'm like, yeah, I really want that table. Because it's I imagine we're going to have people here.
People around the table.
We'll be able to invite it in, and this can be a spot. like, we have to keep it because it's a spot to like converse. And so it just feels like, oh my gosh. And now there's even like I want to go look into that. Like, there's a biblical backing behind it. And there's a way that God made us to be creatures of community, I like to say. Creatures of community.
Yeah.
So I love that idea.
So I was just thinking, I hope someone fact checks me, because it might be that every post-resurrection appearance of Jesus in the Gospel of John.
Oh.
I have to check, because I said that, and then I'm like, oh, wait a second.
It could be in one gospel.
But we'll see.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because when they're walking, when Jesus is walking along the road, I don't think they have a walking taco.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that.
I'm just thinking. But
Does he
anyway,
like him?
we'll have to check that
I
out.
don't know.
What was there a food truck?
Yes, right.
Buzzbean.
Buzzbean.
Hey, I'll have a.
Oh, Buzzbean is so good. Like, shameless plug, honestly. They're so good. Follow them.
Then you'll be happy that Buzzbean is going to be one of the beverage trucks at our trunk or treat.
That was a good segue.
Saturday before.
That was a good segue.
The Saturday before Halloween.
Yes.
Trunk or treat the Saturday before Halloween.
Oh,
Check it out.
perfect.
We expect 500.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Sydney has been working really, like, I've been amazed. Like, she's pulled that together.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
We are weaving a lot of things together here.
No, seriously.
This is amazing.
Like,
and people are thinking right now, well, man, I can't afford to go to a food truck at your event because I don't have the funds. We have you in mind too, because we now have a little food pantry.
oh my gosh, yeah, we do.
We have a mini food pantry when you drive into our parking lot at
Yes.
1111 Sycamore in Sauk City. If you need food and you can't afford it right now, we have a mini food pantry. And if you can afford it, we'd invite you to drop something off at the food pantry. So Hillsters are going to stock it, and also the Sauk Prairie Food Pantry is going to keep their eye on it and stock it, because they drive past every day.
That's so awesome.
And so it'll be a collective effort, because the food pantry can't be open 24/7.
Right, yeah.
But our mini food pantry can.
That is so cool.
And if you're thinking about having a party and seeing if you can get a bunch of food for your party, there is a camera on it. So just just want you to know that if you're going to come and clean the whole thing out on a regular basis,
Do not do that.
That's not cool. But if you have a family and you need to clean it out, go for it.
Yes.
But frequent flyers,
Yeah.
that's not too cool.
Yeah.
But please do avail yourself of that opportunity if you need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I think that.
I don't know. I'm
Oh wait, yeah.
What?
For the Gathering Place Cafe on Saturday.
Oh yes.
The 21st.
You're having something. Is that this Saturday?
I think.
Or is that a week from
Yeah,
Saturday?
it's this Saturday.
That's this coming Saturday.
I think it's 9 to 11 or 9:30 to 11. It's like a little bit later in the day, but it's just like an art day. So my idea, it's really chill. It's like nothing serious. My idea is to just have like coffee and snacks and like some art supplies, and you can just come in and do something different. I was talking to Vicky at Celebration Sunday, and she's like, maybe I'll bring like my handwork in, like embroidery stuff. And I was like, what? That's such a good, I hadn't even thought of that. Like, so it's whatever type
knitting,
of, yeah,
embroidery,
knitting, like
so
whatever
fabric
your
arts.
creative like thing is. I'm sitting here thinking about like painting, drawing, because that's like where I, exist in. But totally.
Milo, bring in your welding equipment.
Yeah, bring
what we need is an
like-
arc welder and maybe a big sheet of steel.
That
And you can cut figures out right
galvanized
here.
square steel.
Wouldn't that be cool?
9. Okay, 9 a.m. to 11.
Well, you said art supplies. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, I mean, bring, your clay, bring your kiln with, I'm just kidding. Just set it up in the middle.
Bring
But
a
it's just supposed to be
15-ton
fun.
slab of marble.
Yes. We'll just cart it right in.
Beep, beep.
It just like slams through the wall. Oh, great. I wanted a door there.
Whatever media you use,
Yes.
just bring it on in.
I'm going to try to like have drop cloths on the floor, and it'll be fun.
Wait. You're gonna try to have drop
I'm
cloths.
gonna try to. I know I have
This is
some.
not a try to. This
Listen,
is
I'm gonna try to have like under every table, but I might only have a couple. That's what I'm saying. Don't be so mean to me. Yeah.
And if you're coming to church on Sunday, make sure you wear really grippy shoes because they might be a little slippery.
There's like paint splattered all over. Whoopsie. We should do like the balloon dart
Oh, there you
inside.
go.
But just like a nice.
Yeah, and it has wet paint inside.
Yeah.
So when it pops,
Exactly.
we should do that on here.
Oh, that would actually be so
Maybe.
cool.
What if we had a splatter thing?
Yeah,
on
Jackson
here,
Pollock.
and then redo it after
that
a
would
month.
be really cool.
Because our upcoming theme now in teaching for Sundays is going to be on worship. So Revelation chapters 4 and 5.
We should like take each panel down and like give it to like a different family or something, and like have them decorated or something.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be cool?
it would.
And so you would get like however many different,
I don't know if you were ever here when that was wood tone.
No.
Yeah, it was almost a walnut color.
Ooh.
And it had backlighting. Every panel was backlit.
That's cool.
But then we changed it up, and we acknowledge that it should change frequently.
Yeah.
But once someone gets done painting, it's like, please don't paint it. Don't.
I don't want to do it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's time.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway. Hey, this has been a
Anyway.
great conversation. I hope
Yeah, we're like
your
sitting here.
your head is probably going, woo!
All right, Skip.
What in the world? But yeah, we had a great weekend, and we're looking forward to meeting you. Maybe it's going to be online, or even better, would be in person.
Yeah.
But thanks for being a part of our midweek conversation. Have a great week.
Bye.